You've got questions, I've got answers. Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, answering the questions that new leaders ask us. Our goal here at the Kevin Eikenberry Group is to help all leaders become more successful, productive, and confident. And today, one of those things that we could talk about is effectively communicating with our team. Are you ready? Let's get started. Here is the question we received. As a new leader, what are some effective ways to communicate effectively with my team? Well, it's a great question with a really big answer. I'm going to try to answer it based on the front end of the question, which was as a new leader. So I'm going to try and give you some very specific ideas that'll work for all leaders, but especially when we're new or new with a team, what can we do? So here's the first one. Learn what works for them. If you're a new leader with a team, find out what already is working for your team in communicating with each other and with their boss. So maybe nothing's working, in which case you can start fresh. But if there are some processes, if there's a cadence, if there's a rhythm about what's working already, then you want to work with that if you can. Number one. So thinking about what works for the team collectively. Well, thinking about what works for individuals though is really getting an understanding of how individuals communicate, their communication styles. If you want to learn more about that, there's a great free tool here. You see it over my shoulder at discpersonalitytesting.com. Feel free to take a chance and look at that. Second idea here is to use more than one tool. What do I mean by tool? Well, what I really mean is more than one medium, right? That means that probably the ways that you communicate now are face-to-face, over the phone, a text message, an instant message, an email, and perhaps a bunch of other things. I would say that effective communication uses more than one of those tools or more than one of those media, but all using them appropriately. Which leads me to the third one, which is to reduce the use of email. Reduce email use. And that may sound like sacrilege, or that may sound like heaven, but here's the reality. More and more studies are finding that email's getting in our way of productivity and of communication. I'm not saying that we need to never use email again. What I'm saying is let's use it more effectively, let's use it more appropriately, and I'm confident that you would find, like I found, that there are certain times when email just doesn't really do the job. It may seem like it's efficient, but it's not really getting our communication needs met. We may need to pick up the phone, walk down the hall. I'm going to encourage you, if you want to communicate more effectively, reduce the use of email, use it more intentionally rather than just by definition, okay? Next, consider having regular one-on-ones with your team members. Now, what regular means depends a lot on the nature of your group and where your folks are, whether they're down the hall or in another time zone. But I think you want to think about, how do I meet with my individual team members more frequently, in a more scheduled way, and in a more intentional way. That might be daily, that might be weekly, that might be different for different people, but I'd encourage you strongly to have a set time when you get together with individual team members to find out what their challenges are, what their needs are. Gives you a chance to do coaching, gives you a chance to clear the air and get rid of misunderstandings, and it'll improve overall communication and success. And the last thing, and this is for all leaders, that is, I want you to consider talking less and talking later. What do I mean by talk less and talk later? Here's what I mean. As leaders, often we find that we are compelled to do the talking. Or if we ask a question of a group and no one responds, we start talking. If we really want to engage others, if we really want to have true communication, which means we're both talking, not just me doing all the talking, then we need to bite our tongue and wait. So as a leader, if we will talk less and talk later, don't be the one that feels like we have to jump in with an answer. Ask more questions, wait a little longer, share our comments later. We'll have more effective communication, probably have better relationships, we'll have higher levels of trust, and we'll get more accomplished. How about that? Those 5 things will help you communicate more effectively with your team, whether you're a brand new leader or you've been at it for a long time. But let's close today's video with a tweet. Successful communication with your team starts with understanding your team and their needs. Well, I hope this question and answer was helpful to you in helping you navigate the transition from bud to boss. And I hope that you'll take then the opportunity to take a look at more of the things, more of the resources on this page. There are other blog posts, there are other videos, and there are a bunch of resources, both free and paid, that are available to you, and we hope that you'll take advantage of all of them. Again, our goal is to help you be more successful, and this site is here for your benefit. While we hope that you will join us for a upcoming workshop, we really hope that you'll take advantage of these resources to become closer to the leader you were born to be and help you in your transition from bud to boss.